Good morning, everyone. I am a little bit early, mostly because I was trying to figure out where my spot was to start. And I don't know why I have so much trouble finding this in the starting of a video, but I do. But anyway, I'm here, so I'm just going to chat for a moment. We're going to make scrappy stuff and do some Christmas cards and um yeah, I don't know what we're going to do. I got a lot of things, but I think what I want to start with, man, look at the mess I have. Yep, it's awful. I'm going to have to put a new mat down because this really bothers me. Not today, but I thought maybe I would share with you the Christmas trees I made. If you've seen it, I put it on Facebook and my Instagram. But this one was done on a styrofoam cone, and it's just pieces of lace and oh, organza, and there's some yarn and some gold rickrack, and I stuck a few pearls in there. Good morning, Susie. Good morning, Arlene. And at the last minute, I found this teardrop pearl and teardrop hat pin kind of thing, and or corsage pin. That's what it is. And so, anyway, that was fun. I had so much fun making trees, and I still have like 8 cones ready to make into trees. This one was just a cardstock cone, and I wrapped it in twine and then decided it needed some decorations. This is just black annealed steel wire. It makes your hands dirty working with it, but it just went. And then this is the piece that was left after I made this. And I decided to freeform a star, and I was really pleased with that. So that one was fun. And again, this was a cardboard. I had covered it with, or not cardboard, cardstock, covered it with book pages just to reinforce it a little bit. Hi, Lou Bear. Do I know who you are? If I do, I'm sorry that I don't remember your name. I'm really bad at names. So I again went with the twine. This has got freshwater pearls on it. I didn't go all the way around because I was really happy with that. And then I'm torn between these two as my favorites. This is my, okay, way back, if you had watched any of my videos, I used to have a piece of chipboard here that was my background paper. This is that chipboard. And I think it's just cool as all get out on the inside too. But I rolled it up, and there was marks on this side too. And so I just started doing some watercolor splotches on it. I mean, it looks like it was planned, but it really wasn't. And then I doodled all around them. Hi, Belinda. And I kept doodling on. This has been a work in progress for a while. It just seemed really dark. So yesterday I added white to it in between, waiting for things to dry all the other on the other trees. Hi, dragons. And then this is a styrofoam tree also. And this one's buttons. I started off using, because it's exciting, using this huge long needle. And as you can see, some of them have stitches and some of them have stringies. I was trying to sew them on, but that only worked for the big ones. The eye wouldn't go through the little ones, and the cord I was using wouldn't go through the eye of a smaller needle, and I needed it long enough to go through the whole tree. I would love to be able to see what the inside of one of these styrofoam trees look like. In fact, right there is a pin sticking out from something. Must be something over here. I mean, it's not going to catch anybody, but the silver just kind of gleamed for me. Yeah, I love that too. So anyway, I decided, okay, I'm going to glue some on. And then I thought, well, let's pin and glue. And the sequin pins that I used on this tree had too tiny heads. So I was in my jammies all day. It was a crafting jammy day, let me tell you. And I didn't want to get dressed. So these are my sewing pins. Needless to say, I need to replace my sewing pins. And that's okay. I'm good with that. But I really liked how this turned out. There's some that are just not wanting to be tight. I may have to do some touch up to this. And then I found this one button right there. It has a star on it. And I kept it to the side thinking somehow I got to figure out how to make that my tree topper. So I just took a pin and went down the back and put a button on there. So it's kind of got a base. And so after I did this one, I'm thinking I may have to go buy some more sewing pins because I have one more styrofoam cone. And I'm thinking, wouldn't it be cool to put a couple of buttons and then a couple of beads and have them all sticking out like, maybe not that far, but, sticking out a good half an inch or so. Yeah, that'll probably be done before Christmas. In fact, it might even be done Sunday. It's just, I don't know. I did. I trimmed all of these up here. I wasn't sure how well they would cut because it's not something I'd really done before. And I just got out my heavy side cutters. Good morning, Kim. And it worked. And there's still some places you see the styrofoam, but it's a green tree, so I think it's okay. So anyway, that's what I did yesterday, and I sure had a really good time doing it. And I really enjoyed playing, and I really enjoyed the jammy play day. So anyway, on to what we're going to do. First off, I've already got my watercolor palette sprayed down, so it's ready to go. And I'm going to start off by showing you kind of what we're going to do. This is actually a last year project. Oh, wow. That's wonderful, dragons. So I made these trees last year. And all of them were done just like this. I didn't do a very good job at centering them to be a greeting card. So I kind of just took them apart and left them like this, thinking, oh, I'll do something with them. So I cut some of them out. And then what I cut out, well, I was organized. Honestly, I really, really was. Oh, I did. I had them put them away. So these are things that I cut off the side, when I was cutting them apart, this part. And I was real careful so that I could have them, and you can see where it went over. And I thought, now, wouldn't this be a really cool card? Just because the tree's not the perfect triangle is okay, and just do that. So that's kind of what we're going to do. So we're going to paint these little triangles in a minute. But before we do that, I want to show you how we did that. So this is just some scrap watercolor paper. And I taped off this little tree and thinking in my head, let's not waste our paper. And I just taped off there for the other side. So I'm going to get my little paintbrush. And right now I'm smart. I have a wet, clean water and a dirty water. I don't know how long that's going to last. It usually doesn't, but we'll see. So I am going to get some greens. And I just love doing all the different colors of green. And no rhyme or reason. And I don't really need to clean my brush between greens because it's going to mingle on here anyway, but I did. And I love watercolor. I'm not that good, but it used to be that I said I was really good at making holes in the paper when I did watercolor. And now I can say that's not true. I can make something with watercolor. It's not always perfect. It's not definitely museum worthy, but I'm okay with that. So I think I'm going to leave that. It could be lots splotchier. It could be, and of course we got to let it dry. And I don't like that spot right there. We go. But I did do one already. And this one, I really paid attention to taping it. We're going to have to do something about the desk. It's really bothering me. It's pretty ugly. Absolutely, Arlene. In the last week, I kind of got caught up with all the have to things. And so I've been doing my art a lot more. And over here at this table in my art room, I have a necklace started. And in the living room, I've got some stitching going. And I don't know if you've ever seen Viking net, but it's something else I've been playing with, and I absolutely love doing it. And I can do it in front of the TV. This is what a finished piece looks like. And then it's made into a jewelry or something. I've been searching all over the place trying to find things I could make with this besides just bracelets and necklaces. But this is what it looks like when you do it. And it doesn't look real good, but once you pull it through a draw plate and it gets smaller and smaller, it becomes really, 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 really pretty. And so I got a lot of it. I just don't know what I want to do with it yet. So I have a ton of different things started. Am I a master at any? Not really, but I sure do enjoy doing it. Hi, Darla, or did I already say that? Because I never remember. Okay, so we have this one, and this one I did do on a greeting card. And I did it just a little bit ago, but I dried it with the dryer. So now we're going to decorate, and I'm going to find a good small brush. I do have some tiny detail brushes I haven't really used. I don't know if I will. That's so tiny. But we'll try them. Mostly because I have them. And let's just see. Let's get some red. And I'm just going to paint designs on here. I don't know what they're going to be. I don't know that I like the tiny brushes. I don't dislike them. I just don't think I love them. They don't hold very much water or paint. But they do what they're supposed to do. Oh, that's all right, Kim. If you miss something, I'll let you know. You can be sure of that. Besides my regular watercolor, I did wet down some gold, some metallics here. So I have some, so I can put some sparkle on there. And let's just do, and it's kind of like doodling with watercolor paint. I got to go to a bigger brush or we're going to be here till supper time. I usually don't use much in the way of metallics. Wow, they were, can you see that? Those bristles? And this is the first time I've used it. So when they put that little lid thing on there, they just scuffed them up. Hang on. Didn't know we were going to do haircuts today too, did you? That's kind of annoying because I kind of like that brush, the size. I haven't even used it, so maybe I don't, but we're going to pretend. Yeah, it's okay. But I got to do more surgery on that, so we're going to have to put it aside. Let's find a different brush about that size. Some of these brushes I've had forever. So let's put some other colors in here. You can put blue on a Christmas tree. Now I'm just going to do some circles. Yeah, I think maybe those were not the best quality brushes because this isn't an expensive brush either, but it's holding a lot of paint. And I have no plan. I'm just painting marks on here, just kind of like my doodling. Yeah, that's the worst part. I'm pretty good at doing that too, but I am, because I, by the magic of TV, I was able to dry this before. Mm. All these colors, and I never know what color to pick. Isn't that crazy? Well, I just stuck my brush in the clean water. I knew it would happen. I don't even know why I tried to have clean water. Okay, let's put some copper in there. Okay. It's funny how I never use metallics, but it seems to be perfect for a Christmas tree. Okay. I think we're going to call that good and put it over here to dry carefully because some of those are really big droplets and I don't want them to run. And we are going to paint these little ones so that we can do a stacked card with all of them. So I have to grab my background paper so I don't make a big, huge mess. And you know, I love to save my background paper and make things out of it. I want to share with you real quick. Yes, I know today I am all over the place, but honestly, I am every day. Today, y'all just get to see it. So I scanned these in like this into my computer, and then in Canva, I mixed them up and did layers, and I made some really cool backgrounds. And this is my newest project. I am actually making this mostly for myself. I've showed a few people. I'm not completely done with it. These were the first two on just my backgrounds. I didn't print them on good paper. I am making a project called an unplanned planner. I don't know about y'all, but I don't like to have to write something every day. I don't want to write things every day. Hi, Christine. And so I've made this. And if I want to do January 1st and I don't want to do anything until January 11th, then that's okay. It's not going to be dated. It's not going to be numbered. And of course, then after I did it, I went and played and did a whole lot more. But these were all background scrap papers. I've just changed their colorings. And I've left spots for you to put a date if you want. And some of them have little boxes to put dates or headings. And as soon as I get this design completely worked out, which I really need to do because I want to start it in January, I may have that offered up. May do a class on that. I don't know yet. But we're calling it the Unplanned Planner. And my dear friend Laura came up with that name. And so I love that name. It's so me. So all I'm going to do is paint these real quick. I probably should have painted a few before I started because we know we don't want to sit and wait for watercolor to dry or any kind of paint. Oh, Susie, I so understand that. I hope you didn't have all the other stuff that can go with vertigo, the nauseousness, and all that. Oh, how do I like Canva? I love Canva. And I'm not good. I just play. I'm not even painting these good. I'm painting them kind of sloppy because we want to play. Oh, Susie. I send you my sympathy because I have the same issues. I have, knock on wood, not had too much issues from it lately. I've kind of figured out what things trigger it, and I avoid that. So far, so good. Went through a lot of tests, including an MRI, And I don't have vertigo like normal people have vertigo. Mine is not the crystals in your ears. So now we have almost got 4 painted Christmas trees. I love just being sloppy and messy and seeing where it goes. Some of those are the best. I did use the free for quite a while and I liked it, but I definitely like the one I pay for. Okay. Oh, I am so sorry, Susie. If it was the crystals, that would be so much easier for all of us. I know. Okay, you don't want to sit and hear me do that, especially if you've been fighting vertigo. So I'm going to set these off to the side and we'll come back to the Christmas trees. Let's do something a little bit different, um, just so that we don't have to sit here and watch paint dry. So I said in the description we were going to make things out of scraps. So I have a pile of scraps that I've already went through, of things that I've thought I might use, and then some. Of course, you don't just do one. And I got a stack of papers that I have kind of folded and cut for cards. And I'm going to share one of my favorite tips with a scoreboard. So here is a piece of paper, cut half a sheet of cardstock, and it's going to make a greeting card. So we know that we could put it down here. It's 4 1/4, score it there and fold it. This is my most used way of using a scoreboard. I put my paper so it's up against that and up against that, and then I bring that up, and I do this for all kinds of folding. It makes it line up perfect every time, or really close to perfect every time. So there's my card. And I have several of them already done. So I only saved this back so you can see my special little trick. I just think that makes it easier. So I'm going to use these little things that I have here that are already ready to use. But if you need instructions on clusters, I'm sure it's all over the internet. And that's something else we can do. I really need, hi, Kim. I really need some ideas on what y'all want to see, because I have ideas and I may say something now, and by next month, I've got 3 more different ideas. So, I want to do some jewelry, and I want to do some clusters. And so, we may just do 6 different things in our little Shenanigans day, which of course fits the title Shenanigans. So here's a card, and I was thinking that this would make, okay, so I take little bitty scraps and I have a container of them, and I go to the sewing machine and I just stitch them all together and then stitch on them. I think this is going to be too small. So let's see if we can't get a bigger card I already have folded. I know that I folded one. I know that I did. So, okay, here we go. Here we go. So, I'm thinking that you could take these. And now, if you don't want to stitch on them, you can draw your stitching lines. Or you could do hand stitching on them. This is my little stash of things I've stitched together. And stitched together. There's no rhyme or reason. Some of them are nice and long because I love making books like this as their pages. So I've already went through this and picked out the ones I like. I just wanted you to see my mess because I don't know, they make me happy just to look at them, you know? That's kind of crazy, but it's the truth. So I was thinking, and I don't see all of them here, so we may not. So, as you can tell, I've been in Christmas tree mode lately. Now, is that not the cutest scrappy little tree you've seen? I think so. But I saved some of these to the side because now I don't know that I can. Oh, I don't know. I think that this might be its own card, but doesn't that look like a stack of Christmas presents? So let's just do this on here. We've kind of got it stacked off over here, so we'll put some glue on it. And make our Christmas tree. And you could do this with spaces between them. You don't have to overlap them or even touch them up to each other. It's totally however you want to do it. I kind of like a little, tiny little bit of overlap. And I love the strings. That's part of the reason I'm not using a glue stick, because with the glue stick, the strings tend to get caught up in there. I am going to trim that just a smidgen because it's, you know, hanging off the card a little bit. And it still is, but okay. That's not your normal way of, you know, making a Christmas tree, but normal. That's just a sitting on the dryer. So this, what's the top and what is the trunk, which I should have put this one on. Let's see if it'll lift up just enough to go under there. Is a whole different kind of thing that I was stitching on, which is really fun. I took little squares of paper. Some of it was copy paper that I'd colored on, and some of it was just background paper and magazine pages, envelopes, and I laid them out on a water-soluble paper, and I just stitched. And so I have big chunks of this, and I've pulled off little pieces of it as I've, you know, and used it. It was fun to make, and it's fun to use. So that's, you know, I'm not a big scrap saver. Well, I might save them for a while, and then I get tired of them and I get rid of them. So that's a really cute Christmas tree. It's still kind of plain. So we're going to take a black pen and we're going to do kind of a border. And it's just, this is a border I use all the time. I love doing it. It goes with the um, messiness of the stitching. And sometimes my stitching looks just like this. So now it's a little better. It still looks a little bit plain. So I think that I am going to do a little water flicking with the watercolor. Let's do some gold. And it's not nearly wet enough. Let's hope we don't ruin it. Okay, let's try a little copper. Needs it to be wetter. Okay, we'll call that good. Just added a little something to the background. But it still seems kind of empty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these strips like this that I have. All the little pieces to me looks like stacked up Christmas presents. And I like it right here because I don't want to put a real tall one. I'm going to tear it, but I'm going to have to snip the thread. And put that one there. And I like right here. Snip that thread. Actually, this one was stitched by hand. Didn't even know that. So I like this, but it's not, it needs some distinction. Well, look at these big words I got coming out of my mouth. So I'm going to ink the edges just a little bit. I think my ink pad's probably close to dry. Okay, I don't know how I got these to look so much alike there. So we need one more little part. I'm not tearing this one because this one needs to be all by itself. This one just says presents to me. I actually have something in mind for that one. So we're going to find. I'm going to tear this one right here. And I'm going to tear this so it's not so long. We'll ink the edges on this one. Because, you know, we need 3. We don't do just 2. So there's our presents under the tree. So let's glue them down. I'm going to put a little glue along this because I didn't realize it was hand stitched and I don't want it to come undone. So put those down. So now we have our Christmas presents and our Christmas tree. They do all kind of look alike, but that's okay. It's still stinking cute. So now I am going to kind of outline. Again, I'm doing messy. I'm making it look like stitches going around. I'm going to kind of just, you know, doodle it. And then I'm going to tie a big bow here. Make it look like presents. So is everyone ready for Christmas? So now we have our tree and our presents. Now you could easily come in here, say you wanted to, there's a little gold dot there, so I'm going to circle that. You can do some more doodling on this and personalize it and make it how you want it. Oh, I just smeared some dots. That's okay. They were flushed on there. Thanks. Yeah, I thought the bows were cute. And I could, I could make them loopier. I could make them double lined. Most everything I do when I doodle is double lined, and so those are kind of plain actually for me, but I like it. I do think I want a little distinction right here on the tree. Not that it's needed, it just kind of needed, I don't know, maybe it is needed. Just tying it all together, making it my own. And then I could put a star up there if I wanted to, or, find another little piece of paper that makes it come up to more of a point. I'm not sure what I want to do up here, if anything, but I like it like it is. So I think it looks pretty cool. And I don't have any stamps, so of course I'd have to write greetings inside, but I really do like this a lot. I do think maybe a few more splatters because it's just, I don't want to say plain, but it's just plain. And I don't like a plain background. Yes. In my mind, that's what it needed. Thanks, guys. I really thought that turned out pretty cool. This is something I've had in my mind for a long time, and this is the first time I've made it. So, I'm going to need Darla's help because I think I'm going to do a real quick giveaway. And I got to go potty. So I want you guys to pick a number between, there's 13 people in here. Pick a number between 1 and 25. I'm going to go visit the other room. And when I come back, Darla can help me pick the number or look for it. And we'll do the random number draw. I shall return real quick. Come on, I need more numbers. Darla, you haven't put a number in. All right. I guess not everybody wants a prize. So we will ask Siri. There we go. Hey, Siri.
Huh?
Never mind. Did I say between 1 and 20 or 1 and 25? Somebody, I already forgot. I was too worried about getting in the bathroom. Okay. All right. Hey, Siri. Give me a random number between 1 and 25.
A random number between 1 and 25 is 12.
Okay. So, do we have a 12? We do. Arlene, okay, you're going to be getting a surprise. It could be gift tags. It could be, look, I got all kinds of goodies in my, well, I had all kinds of goodies in there. So I have gift tags. And I have no idea where I actually literally just put the rest of this, off to the side. So I made these for a show several years ago and they've sit in there and done nothing. So I have the gift tags. I have paperclip flags. I have a little gift card, which could go in a Christmas journal. It's just a little folder to hold gift cards. And I have more gift tags. And I have little tablets covered in my artwork. So, Arlene, you will get let's do this. How many people entered? Oh well, I'm gonna do more giveaways. So Arlene, you'll get a surprise. That's one of these things. At least one of these things. I just have to share this. It came out of, I was storing them in my Wicked popcorn tin. Yes, I went to see Wicked for good. Yes, I loved it immensely. Okay, so our triangles should be dry. We did. I don't know. I just have so many things I want to do. It's just crazy. I have got all my pressure things that I needed to get done, except Christmas presents, which we're going to work on that soon. Really soon. It's almost done. I just need to sort it and see if there's little extras I need to do. So, let's do something different with these trees. No, I have to move stuff to get to my paint pens. Okay. Let's do it anyway. Suck it up, Jean. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick out some pins. And just a handful. I don't even know what colors I got. Let's get them shaken. And let's decorate some trees. Yeah, just kind of not showing up real bright, is it? And it is a, well, it isn't that bright, I guess. There we go. You shook it, Jean-Ann, but you didn't prime it. Oh, I'm in trouble now. I'm using my whole name. Well, the good thing about paint pens, decorating it, we still have the look of the watercolor, but we don't have to wait for it to dry as much. I sure didn't pick out very many colors. I got 2 reds, 2 yellows. So I'm sort of decorating a tree and I'm sort of doodling on a tree. So it's kind of a combination of both. You going to work? Let's pick out a couple more colors because that's just not nearly enough. Tonight's our Christmas party. He told me he's going out to find a new shirt. Which is, wish him luck. We need to light a candle for him because in this town, finding clothes is next to impossible. We don't have a men's store. We don't have a plus size store. But we got all kinds of teeny bopper stores. Yeah. Well, I didn't quite use my own full name. I didn't use, well, I'll wear my inkwell, my paint. I didn't use my last name, but I don't use my middle name very often. Even though my mom named me that with the intentions of me being called that. Good thing I'm taking a shower before the party tonight. Okay, so that's another one done. And I think I'm going to put a garland on this one. Let that dry just a little bit. Put something on this one. Let's do some balls. And let's do some yellow balls. I'm using some cheapy paint pens. I'm trying to get them used up. That looks like Pepto-Bismol balls. Let's put a little bit of blue on there. And we'll call this one done. My tree wants to rock and roll here. Rocking around the Christmas tree. Okay, they're not perfect, but that'll do. So let's see how this one's doing. It's not quite dry. That blue one's still wet, so we'll come back to that. So we have several trees. Let's put a little bit of, we're going to keep this one simple, I guess, because that's what my mind sees. And when my mind works, I have to listen. So we're just going to put some little white balls on here. Dragging my hand through more paint. I don't know if y'all do this. When I prime it, it leaves a puddle, so I tend to use that to, put more paint on my tip instead of, I don't know. I just don't want to waste it, I guess. Kind of weird, I suppose. Okay. Oh, how come you did that to me? And then I just set my hand in something over there. Okay. So we got these all fairly done. Let's come back to these, let these dry, and then we'll put one together. And yep, these are good and dry. All right, should we watercolor these or should we paint pen these? I do like the little white baubles. It makes it a simple little tree, and sometimes you need that. So let's see. Watercolor. All right. That's what we'll do. All right, where's my little brush? I need to spread these back out here so that I don't screw them up. I'm really good at doing that. Should be my middle name. Jean Screw Up. Hey, that works. Sounds normal. All right, what do we want to paint on here? I love doing the circles and stuff like that. I mean, even when I make jewelry, I use a lot of spirals. I have only had help from people on watercolor. I have not really taken a class. But I've had enough tips and knowledge that I've learned to not make holes in the paper. I agree. big time, Marlene. It doesn't take a lot to make something smart and cute and pretty and pulled together like a few basic. Oh, I just I just wiped my brush on my watercolor paper that I hadn't used. That's okay. It's all right because I'll just paint on it or use the other side. I think we're going to call that one done. I kind of like it just like it is. Put my napkin over here so I know to use that, not just the paper. Oh, thanks, Kim. Okay, now we've got the other one. Let's paint it upside down because I don't want to turn my paper around, and let's see what happens when I paint it upside down. Let's do, I wish I had a really good watercolor pink, but I don't. And I guess I could make one, but I'm not that good at that either. Something else I'm still learning. Well, I think that's pink. So we're going to put, I can't do it upside down because I might do garlands and then they'd go the wrong way. Um, yeah, I'm going to do garlands. I'm going to turn it the other way for a little while. So it looks like I was drinking wine when I decorated the tree. Now it's kind of got that Dr. Seuss feel. I think. Do you like their watercolors, Arlene? See, sometimes I get on these trees, I'm thinking, oh, I'm decorating a tree, but really I'm not. I'm doodling a tree. So it makes a difference. And I need to remember that sometimes. Okay, so those are done. Let these sit over here and dry. Good thing I had lots of things I wanted to do, so you don't have to sit and watch paint dry today. So, of course, I painted these, but could I really leave them by themselves like this? No. So we're going to that's just water, so we're good. We're going to outline the ornaments so it's more doodled. And I am not really worrying about if I'm staying on track, if I'm getting out of the lines, because I did take a doodling class with Joanne Sharp. It was a year-long work in your journal kind of thing, and the one thing that she said that has always been in my mind, and when I work on with anyone on doodling, I use this line too. The first line is not the last line. So you can go back and do, and that, if you didn't outline it quite right, go back and outline it again, and then it looks like it was supposed to be that way. So And some people have trouble with that, but that's just part of what I like to do. I like the definition. I find it hard to do too much art without a little bit of definition to it. But I don't want definition to be perfect. I just want it to look good. Look good in my eyes. Okay, I'm going to call that one almost done. And the reason I say almost is because I want to outline the whole tree. The one must not have been cut very good. It's got little, oh, it's the binding from the watercolor paper. You know, like it was, I don't know what they call that kind of binding. Glued or something like that. So, while I've got this pin out, let's just do this one. Now, I didn't do this to all of them, but I'd done it to one and I liked it. So, and you know, most of my art is outlined. Okay. This is why I don't like clear lids. Does anybody see my lid and I'm not seeing it? I didn't hear it go boom, so it'll show up. We'll just lay it over here and hope it doesn't dry out too much before. Rare. Okay, we're going to outline these. Going to hold on to the, no, we'll put the lid on there. Sometimes when I do this and my circles aren't good and perfect or they overlap or whatever, I look at it and go, man, that's pretty childish. But then I look at it and like, but man, I really like it. So. And I do my art to please myself. If I please someone else along the way, that's just extra. And I think I'll come in here on some of them and double line them. And I don't always double line as I just maybe part of it I double line. So you can see it, the second line. And what this does too is covers a multitude of mistakes. So we're going to call that one done. And you can leave that one. I like it by itself. I don't think I want to outline it. And this one is not dry. This one is dry enough. So I'm going to pull off my tapes. Now this is art tape and it's supposed to be used this way, so it should not tear my paper. Oh, see, I even boogered it up there. That's right. I have an eraser that might fix that. But if you have any trouble, heat it with the heat gun or hair dryer. And I usually save my tape. Oh, Darla, thank you. Oh, you must have enlarged the picture to find that one, huh? Okay. So there's our Christmas tree. And we can outline that if we wanted to. I started to say, I saved my tape. Not that I reuse it for that, but I'll spread it out on a page protector and stamp on it and stuff and then use it for something. I'm just using something from Hobby Lobby, so it's whatever Hobby Lobby brand is because they don't carry any of the good stuff anymore. So that's really bothering me. I do know that there's supposed to be an eraser in here for just this kind of thing. But it doesn't feel like it's in there. Nope, it sure is. Oh, yes, it is. I knew you were. This is one of those few things that I put back where it belongs, which is not very often. And it needs to be run on the sander real soon because it's kind of gummy. Yeah, it's not completely gone, but it's pretty close. Okay, so I can leave this like this and decorate it, do a border, outline that, write my greetings, or I could take some of these little trees and do something like I really do like that. So we're going to outline the tree that's on here because it is not outlined and everything else is. So we're going to take this little, I'm going to do a finer outline because if I screw up with the fat one, it's a big screw up. If I screw up with the finer one, I can usually fix it. So let's test out which pin I want. That's it. See, I just want a fine line on there. Okay. Oh, guess what? It's time for another giveaway. So again, pick a number between 1 and 25. And I guess I should be writing this down, shouldn't I? I see that Kim had 13 first. Susie retracted. Okay. Hey Siri, pick me a random number between 1 and 25.
A random number between 1 and 25 is 16.
So it looks like Kim. Okay, thank you. Again, you're going to get one of those little thingies. So let's do this. We were going to use this tree, right? Or were we going to use, we were going to use these two trees. Okay. So let's glue this down. I hope this glue is strong enough to pull the curl out of the watercolor paper. Yeah, that one tree is a little crooked, but that's okay. It's all good. Hello. Hi, Susie. Okay, so now we've got this on here. I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of doodling on this one to kind of tie it in a little bit. That dark blue sure looks, or dark purple sure looks black on there. Okay, now we're going to get that fine brush that I wasn't really fond of. Maybe. There we go. And we're going to get some of the gold. Well, hi there, Laura. Yep, there was some paint in that brush. Let's get some of this. And I'm going to just do a little kind of star, but just kind of not a star. Just a little flourish. There we go. You know, these should be simple, but I tend to just keep doing more to them and more to them. And then I'm like, 6 hours later, I have 2 cards done. Okay, so we have our little Christmas card. Again, it's a plain background. Does that bother me? Yes, it does. So we're going to do my fun little outline. I don't know if you noticed that. I was drawing back and I went off the page. So I went off the page in another spot. So it looks like That's how it's supposed to be. That's how you fix your mistakes. You just make another one on purpose. So there we go. Now I'm kind of feeling like these two trees need trunks. What do y'all think? Or should I do some more funky outline around the outside edges? These are all watercolor papers or cardstock that I have painted and done the little Christmas trees. The backs of them all, the background is all watercolor. And I'm just doing whatever feels right to do on them. Right, exactly. Well, be safe out there. So, do we need trunks? Okay, Susie and Kim say trunks. Let's just do a little watercolor because we don't want to just draw a plain little outline. Besides, this pen isn't waterproof. It's just the one I like. Look at this, guys. I'm going to do a brown trunk. My browns hardly used. I never use browns. Well, I shouldn't say never. I very seldom use browns. So let's put a little bitty trunks on here. Let's hope they're centered. That one's not, so it might be a little bit fatter. There we go. And just because you can sort of see the center of that tree, we're going to put a little bit of brown there so it looks like it's got a trunk too. Not that it makes much difference. Okay, when those are dry, we'll outline them and we'll call that good. Do we need to splatter? Yeah, I think so. But this time I think we're going to splatter instead of the metallics, which looks good. Don't get me wrong. But I think I need a little red. I don't have that wet enough. Well, I don't have it, yeah, wet enough would be a good word. I don't have enough water in it. Okay. Call that good. That's one thing I did learn from my friend here that has moved away, that when you do watercolor, splatters fixes a lot of things. So there's my trees of 24 done, finished in 25. I really like this. I might actually send out some Christmas cards this year. I know we're running late, but that's okay. So, Laura, you missed this one. All right. So we still have tons of trees. And I think we've done a lot of trees. Shall we pull the tape off this and see what these look like since we're getting ready to just start something different? yeah, I told you guys I just have so many ideas, and I don't know, it's nice to play with someone else. All right. So there, this one almost looks like it's curved. The way the watercolor is really light. It's got good, but we'll outline that and we'll doodle on that at another time. We're gonna go for a different kind of card. Why? Because we can. So I have, like I said, I had all these scraps out, and I have some things. I have so many more trees to put together, and let's find a card that's finished, folded and ready to go. I'm going to flip this over just because I don't know if there's anything wet. And I had an idea for circles. I like circles. As you can tell, I draw them on everything. So I have my little scrap box. And I have a bunch of circles already cut. And some of them are out of my painty paper. Some of them are out of copies of my painting paper. Some of them are stacked. Some of them are magazines. Anything goes. Even that one's not even a perfect circle. Okay, and you could use cardstock. I actually have sitting beside me a stack of cardstock I don't really use. Welcome in. Sanjati. I really butcher names, um, so please forgive me. So I kind of had a couple of ideas. These want to slide under there. I was thinking of maybe Christmas tree made out of circles. I'm picking out the ones I know I'm not going to use. But like, oh, they're getting harder and harder to pick up. Let's see, let's start off with this one, and then I'm just kind of auditioning right now. I don't know that this is what I'm going to stay with. But see, we could do a Christmas tree like that. That's really kind of cute. I think we're going to do this. So, I'm going to do something in case y'all don't do this. I'm sure y'all do. Why won't you open, phone? I am going to snap a quick picture of that. So when I get ready to put these down, they won't, I won't mess up what order they're supposed to be in. let's start off with that. Because, you know, you can think you're going to keep them in place, and then you could sneeze or cough. Oh, I like that side better. A lot of good that does me if I'm going to keep knocking it over. I'm going to start using my full name here shortly. I do like my little precision glue gun though. I'm changing. Ooh, I like that side. And I don't have that color in there, so. That's what happens when you use magazine pages. Sometimes you find you like the other side better. So there's my little Christmas tree. So now we gotta, as I have been told before, we're gonna JP it up. So we'll get my pen, and I'm gonna kind of outline it a little bit. Now there's a couple of things we could do here. We could just outline everything and consider this a Christmas tree, which is the concept. But I have one more idea for it. But I need to get it all outlined, and I actually picked up a permanent pen that's not, it's more waterproof, so that's a good thing. Don't think that's going to make a big difference in my next step, but we'll see. It's a bauble tree, yep. I am outlining this a little slower than I did some of the other stuff because, yeah, circles are easy to slip on. Okay, we got them outlined. Now we're going to make it a real bauble tree. So I'm going to make these ornaments. I do have a die that cuts this little thing out, that little ornament deal, but they're not, all my ornaments aren't the same size. Don't know where I want that one to go yet. I have to go slow on these because when I did my prototype trying to see if I wanted to do this, um, I took my little platform thingies the wrong direction, and so I think we'll put that one here. Okay. So now I'm just going to color them in with my gold paint pen. I could get my gold gel pen if I wanted to, or silver. Um, Gold just seems to show up a little better sometimes. Okay, so now I have an ornament Christmas tree. I should have done this one up to the top because it does look a little lopsided there. But that's okay because, it's art. Now I could go in and I could doodle on some of these ornaments that are kind of plain. Like, just add a little bit of doodle to it, which is always good if you're using a magazine page because then you're not leaving their art on your page. You're turning it into your own. And somewhere I'm just going to put some white dots on there. I'm a firm believer in anything you do, if you put something black and white on it, it just makes it pop. It just makes it pop. So right now, as far as what I'm doodling, I'm kind of doodling with the colors that are on here just to make it, kind of mix in. I don't know. Not doing a lot of doodling, just a little bit. I may want to do more, but for the sake of having to watch me draw, I'm going to keep it simple. So now you have a Christmas tree ornament Christmas tree, bubble tree. This was a bubble wrap jelly print. So there is our little Christmas tree. And it really is bothering me that ornament hanger is not pointing up. It makes it look like a short, stumpy little tree. But you could take, and I'm not going to do this right now because I don't trust myself on what I'm writing, but you could write Merry Christmas down here, and that'll kind of tie it all together. You could add some sparkles. You can add an outline, which of course we're gonna do. Let's do some sprinkles on there because we can. This isn't exactly a watercolor piece, but the little sprinkles will help a lot. I think we'll do this rose gold color. I should have done the outline first. You live and learn. Live and learn. So we're going to let this dry. We'll come back and we'll do the outline and we'll have another finished card. We have another one that I had thought of. And let me get a folded card here. This was a 12 by 12 that I had cut and folded. Switch our papers out so that there's nothing wet. I guess it doesn't really matter whether it opens this way or this way, but I think this is kind of what I want, is it to open from the top, just to be different. And I have a bunch of fabric. And I'm going to go ahead and cut it in strips because if I decide I don't like how this is going to work, I have other uses for it. I don't know. I don't even think I've shared that. I thought I've been making pom-poms and garlands out of fabric scraps. This is my latest garland. And I just lost the needle. This is out of little bitty scraps. But I made one that's pretty close to 10 foot out of bigger scraps. What am I going to do with them? I have no idea, but I'm sure enjoy making them, and that's all that matters. So we're going to do this one, and I think this one, and let's do that one. I'm kind of putting them in the color section that I'm thinking they need to be. I think I'm going to use that one twice, but we'll see. I don't like this one anymore. Let's try. Okay, I think we're good here. We may stick in a little more red, but we might cut it off this. So I'm going to start with this one. And let's just do it. Let's just make this little tree. I don't know why I'm so nuts over trees lately. I just keep making trees, So we'll start using my full name again. Okay. And I know I want this little section. That little ladybug. I'm going to come over here and put some glue on it. It just wants to stay stuck to my fingers. Okay. Now this one would be fun to use very little glue and take it to your sewing machine and stitch on it after you're done, which I may do. We're not going to do that now because I'm not going to. I got my tree too fat too fast. Way too fast. Because I'm not going to be able to make it like I want it. It's going to be hanging off the page. So how do we fix that? Well, we hope that the glue isn't fully dried. I'm going to cut a little bit of that one off and start over. We may have to do some creative repair work. We'll see. Because it did tear the paper a little bit there. I think we'll be all right because we'll have some stringies hanging out. My little glue nozzle is full of little pieces of fabric. And my cuts aren't straight, even the strips aren't straight. And I just love that. Yeah, that's kind of what I was hoping for. I know I am tree obsessed. It's crazy. I could do that, but I already started a folded card and I think that's, I don't know. I don't take the simple way. Not until I've made, a mistake and then I have to redo it. But yeah, I am going to stitch that over. I tell you what, I will stitch that over and later and put it on as the thumbnail for this tree or this thing, this video when I'm done. It's still pretty short and fat, but that's okay. It is going to be fine because it just is. It just will be what I want it to be. And fine is what I want it to be. Do you know what else would be really cute with this? Is to make a wreath with little scraps of fabric. Okay, that's my last one. And it's still got fat fast, but that's okay. So there's our Christmas tree. This one that I didn't like might be the perfect trunk. Yeah. So this is a jean tree. It is short and stout. Short and plump. Okay. Short and fat. True, they aren't. And I love the idea of a wonky tree. I do love a chubby tree. And it's not centered on my card, but hey, it's handmade. So I'm going to go ahead and put a frame around this because I don't want to stitch a frame. I don't know why. But I am going to stitch on this and share it as the thumbnail and as, I don't know, on Facebook, on Instagram. See how much that silly little frame, and it is so sloppy, and even if you make mistakes, it's still good. So there's our tree, and I'm not going to do anything else to it because I am going to stitch on it. And I might even stitch, yeah, well, we're not going to, we are going to do it. We're going to take some more scraps, and I just picked out a handful of scraps that I thought looked good for Christmas. And this one here keeps jumping out at me. And it's crooked, so it won't work. So it's going to have to be one of these. So I think that I might put a few presents under the tree. And then I can stitch them too. Oh, we don't want that one over there. We want that there. And I'm changing where they go because of what's above them, so they're not like matchy. So let's put this one right here. I'm not gluing them down real good because I am gonna stitch. This is totally spontaneous. I had no idea this was going to go where it's going. And I'm guessing that probably doesn't surprise anybody. Oh, guess what? It's time for another giveaway. So, you pick a number between 1 and 25. And we will do the randomness. And you will be on my list for a surprise little packet of something. Everybody knows except Laura and Susie. I don't know if Susie knows what the things are. I have some little gift tags that I die cut and have strings, nothing fancy. I have little folders that would make a good gift card holder or little pocket thing in your Christmas journal or whatever. So pick a number between 1 and 25 and I will pull a winner. There. Come on, I know there's more of you out there. And if you win and you might email me, Arlene, if you could put my email address, it's jeanpeterartist@gmail.com. You might email me your addresses. If you are not in the United States, you may get some digital downloadable thing because the postage is atrocious. But Laura, put your number in there. This is probably my favorite yet. I don't know what's in with me in the fabric lately either. I don't know what's going on with me anyway. So why should this be any different? Okay. So I wanted to do one more ornament type one, but a little bit different. Let's move the fabric scraps completely out of my way. So this idea is using the circles. Okay. Hey Siri. Pick a random number between 1 and 25. That number was 21, and that's not going to work. Hey Siri. Pick a random number between 1 and 25. 16. And that puts Blue Bear. So you need to get me an address. Please. I'm writing that down. Okay. I'm going to use some of these circles that are already cut out. I liked these. A couple of these had metallic paper on them. I don't want the ones that are ruffly. I think those three win. So I'm going to just glue them down. That is a pretty paper back there. Always, pretty paper always hides on the back. Okay, so I just glued these three down, and they're going to be ornaments. These were die cuts that we stacked and made, and then we made printables out of them a long time ago. Okay, now we'll outline them. Outlining circles makes me nervous. Because of that reason right there. That's okay. It's okay. So we're going to make these little ornament holders gold. May have to go in and outline a little bit more. Not going to outline them until so we got our messy little strings. This right here is still not, it went under. That's okay. Now, because I can't leave well enough alone. Yep. Outstanding opportunity presenting suddenly. And these aren't even really glued together well. They were used to make a copy, and yep, I thought I got paint on that. So they're not being outlined perfectly. I have went a little faster. I'm going back to the two lines, or the first line is not the last line. And I actually still like it better. I like that not perfectness. I could go ahead and doodle on these if I wanted to and add even more stuff. I don't know that I'm going to, but we'll see. So there we have another. This one's really bothering me. You just don't see that black line very well. I don't know if it's... that'll do. That'll do. I may have to come in with the glue on this one and glue it down just a little better, the layer, because it seems to want to be lifting. And so there we go. And let's go ahead and put the... Yeah, I may come in here and put some gold dots on them too. Maybe that'll festive them up a little bit. Or tie in the gold ornament thingies. Yeah, that's a real word, thingies. Yeah, I do kind of like the gold dots on them. Okay, so let's do our page outline. Or not page, our edge. Hi, Kelly. And you could write your Merry Christmas right down here. Or, I don't know, I guess you could put them like this and say, Happy Birthday. Oh, because they kind of look like balloons too. They could definitely be balloons. So that is another card. So I think it's been 2 hours, and I think it's time for me to call it. But I definitely want to go over real quick what we've done. So we made the ornament, and I will probably write it on there. I don't know if I want to write it on screen or print it out, glue it on. I don't know. And then we have our little ornament tree. Again, we could put our words down there. We have our um, fabric tree, which I just can't wait to do this. I hope I get to do it here shortly. We have our watercolor trees. We have some more watercolor trees that we haven't done anything with. Lots more of them. We have one we haven't even decorated yet. And then we have our scrappy tree, which is just stitched paper strips that I've put into the shape of a tree and some little presents down there. This is probably my favorite, but I really like this one, and I think I'm going to love this one. And this is probably my least favorite, but maybe I need to do something else to it. Anybody have any suggestions? Sometimes they say it takes a village to raise a kid, but maybe it takes a village to make a Christmas card. It could be. So, yes, I will back it. Most definitely. Most of the time, in fact, I may actually cut this off and then back it on a card. That could be what I do. Good question though, because yeah, I mean, I could show you some of the stitching things I've done, and the backs are plumb crazy. So definitely this one will be crazy because I'm probably going to go like this, and I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm just going to stitch. This that could be, maybe maybe that would be what it needs. I don't work much with glitter and stuff like that, so that wouldn't have been my first choice. So that is definitely a good suggestion. Some reason I think it needs and it's not big enough, but like a bowl that these were sitting in. I don't know. But I like that idea. I do have foil, so I could do that. And so that's our ornaments and our trees, and I could do that. I don't like to stitch with metallic thread though. It breaks all the time in your needle. But I don't know, maybe this needs a tree trunk. I don't know. I was looking for a little strip of paper to just audition and see. All I have is a stitched thing. A tree trunk helps. It's still not quite what I thought. I mean, I'm just using this because it's here. So yeah, a tree trunk might help too. Thanks everyone. I really appreciate this, and I hope you guys have got some ideas. I know it's kind of late in the year for Christmas cards, but look, I had a little pre-done, but not all of it, and I just did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in 2 hours and 15 minutes. So, yeah, you got 5 special people to send cards to. Give yourself a couple hours, and you can have them all done and ready to go in the mail by Monday. So I'm going to call it a night, and I want to wish every one of you a Merry Christmas if I don't talk to you before Christmas. And I hope the rest of your weekend is wonderful, just like you all are. And I appreciate each and every one of you being here. So thank you, everyone, and I will see you soon. Bye. Maybe. I got to figure out how to get out of here. There it is. It's a button that says end stream. So thanks everyone. Have a great day. Bye bye.